It's really hard for people to get on stage and talk about themselves because people don't think they're interesting. But having done comedy for over 20 years now, it's not about being interesting, it's about being honest. By virtue of what I do, I have to open up to people. I'm known as the comedian with Crohn's. The very first symptom I can remember is a really sharp, stabby pain in my lower right abdomen. The diagnosis for Crohn's typically, I've heard it take a year, up to 2 years, just because there's so many different procedures before they can say it is Crohn's. I, however, got lucky in that my Crohn's was so localized and, unfortunately so obstructive that my diagnosis probably only took 2 to 3 months. At the time, I had literally never heard of Crohn's.
Let me tell you about what it was like getting diagnosed with Crohn's. A little section I call, oh crap, I have Crohn's. Crohn's is an autoimmune disease with no cause and no cure that makes your intestinal system attack itself.
I'd have really intense spasms of pain as my body was like, heave ho, and my intestine was like, hell no. And I remember just rolling around, really just holding my gut, trying to just massage away what was going on, and that would last for a couple hours. And it was really pretty painful. So getting diagnosed with Crohn's in '97 was a little different than getting diagnosed with Crohn's in 2023. In '97, it meant eating all the pills. Anything that could be pressed into pill form, I would be eating.
When I'd go to pick up my pills, the guy would be like, that whole top row was me. Like that was basically, I'd be like, I'm Ben Morrison. He'd be like, let me get the wheelbarrow.
Science has come an incredibly long way since when I was first diagnosed. In about 20 years, I've gone from 12 pills a day of multiple medications to my self-inject biologic once every other month. In 2004, I had surgery, but even after my surgery, I still had to manage what I ate. My main meal is just a very simple stir fry. It's big chicken, veggies, love olive oil, rice, and some light seasoning. Those ingredients, at their simplest, my body seems to be A-okay with. I have been lucky enough to perform my Crohn's comedy show, A Comedian's Guide to Crohn's, all over the world. Part of the reason I think doing the show 20 years ago was so important is because there was so much less information about Crohn's than there is now. At the time, it was not only a teaching tool, but an introductory tool for people.
Because the symptoms of Crohn's are so embarrassing, people wind up suffering alone.
Silence is victimization, especially with Crohn's. I say, proudly talk about the fact that you have Crohn's, and I will say this, in 20 years of being open about having Crohn's disease, not once have I lost a job opportunity or friendship because I have Crohn's. In fact, I've gained a lot of jobs, opportunities, and friendships because I'm open about Crohn's.
I understand that it takes guts to talk about your guts, but you have to. Why? Because you are not your disease. Thank you very much.